What's up, you all? I'm gonna jump right into it. I haven't been on here in a while. I had this tooth issue again, so we're gonna try to get it done today. I'm gonna jump right into it. I was planning on going on earlier, but I had to, do some things. Anyway, let me just jump right into it. Let me just jump right into it. Hold on, let me go to this guy right here.
Was a good kid, and why they did him like that, I just don't understand. What is wrong with the police is why they doing all these kids, pulling them over with for no reason. All these kids, illegal stuff, they don't do nothing all the time. They just be outside trying to find their way. He had just bought his new car 3 days before that.
She said they just be outside trying to find their way. People want me to stop talking about Black people. What do y'all think the results are going to be if we keep just brushing what Black folks do under the rug? What do y'all think the results are going to be if we just keep brushing things underneath the rug when it comes to Black folks? What's the end result of that? It's magically going to get better. It's going to make America great. Like, what are the results of this Black culture thing going unchecked? Please tell me. There's this belief that if we don't talk about Black culture for what it truly is, that somehow miraculously it'll just work out and everything will have a happy ending. It's pure insanity. This woman just said they're just outside trying to find their way. Ma'am, what is your son doing?
And he was just riding around in his car. He said, "Mom, I'm going for a ride." And they killed him. They killed him. They killed him.
Roll the windows down.
Roll the window down, man.
Roll the window down. What are you doing?
Roll this one down.
Roll that one down too.
This one down.
Hey, don't roll the window up. Don't roll the window up.
Okay.
Do not roll the window up.
Do not fucking roll
Unlock the doors now.
fucking door.
Dear Black people, if you all are so afraid of the police, if the police are out to get you, then why don't y'all comply? Now, when it comes time for you all to get your food stamps and get your Social Security and get your money for them children that you have, when it comes time for y'all to get money, somehow, some way, you all are able to comply. You're able to go down there, fill the paperwork out on time, dot every I, cross every T, and get your money. But when the police show up, all of a sudden you don't understand how this thing works. Why do you all constantly and consistently disobey the police commands? I don't get it. If you're so afraid, and do what they say. Let's continue.
Unlock the doors now.
Fucking door.
Unlock the doors now. Open the door now. Open the door now. Open the door now. I'm 6-4 David. Shots fired. Shots fired.
So Dexter Reed shoots at the police, and you can always tell when Black folks are guilty because they'll focus on something that has nothing to do with what's going on. Now, instead of his mom saying he shot at the police, she's talking about why was he even stopped. Everybody's focusing on why was he stopped? So in other words, don't stop him. Y'all know in Chicago, right? They're no longer allowed to do high-speed chases. Listen to me. In Chicago, they are not allowed to go in pursuit against a criminal. So that means a criminal can do a crime. If they hop in the car and speed off, the cops can't go after them. That's Chicago. That's Chicago.
Makes sense. It doesn't hold up.
Body cam video of a traffic stop and police shooting in Humboldt Park that left a man dead.
And it provides insight into the events that led to Dexter Reed's death.
Now, this is how you know the media is liberal. Look how they frame the situation. Pay attention.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't hold up.
Body cam video of a traffic stop and police shooting in Humboldt Park that left a man dead.
And it provides.
Now, notice a police shooting that left a man dead, not the police returning fire from getting shot at. The media is liberal. There's an agenda behind you believing that the police are out to get black people. Not Asian people, not Hispanic people, not white people, just black people. There is a reason they want you black folks to agree with that. Because they're going to offer you all a solution. And the solution is going to be the UN troops, the Chinese troops. Everything that black folks are complaining about, they're going to have a solution for it. The solution is going to be you giving up your freedom for the appearance of being safe from the police. Now imagine you all agreeing to the UN troops replacing the police. The UN troops set off perimeters around where y'all live. All the killing, murder, and mayhem are going on in your community because that ain't gonna change. It's gonna be worse. So imagine all that going on and y'all can't leave. You can't call the police and you can't leave. Now keep in mind, the homicides and the crime are going to escalate. They're not going to go down because the police are gone. They want you to believe that the police are making y'all do crime. So imagine you all are stuck in these radiuses, sectioned off, all kind of death, destruction, and damnation is going on, and you don't have anybody to call. You're going to be stuck. No white folks will be around you. It's going to be all your own people. And they're going to be terrorizing y'all. We saw this with Katrina. We saw this in Haiti. We saw natural disasters in the world happen. Any other place in the world, folks rallied together. When Katrina happened, black men turned into savages. When the earthquakes in Haiti happened, black men turned savage. So we know that black folks don't do well, especially black men in a crisis situation. We know this. Let's continue.
Provides insight into the events that led to Dexter Reed's death. Eric is in the newsroom with the details and reaction. Eric?
Well, good morning. The Civilian Office of Police Accountability says police initiated the traffic stop because Dexter Reed wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Now, court records show he was out on bond for the unlawful use of a weapon when he was stopped.
Now, Dexter Reed was out on bond already for the unlawful use of a firearm. Now, listen to me now. His mama is crying with that wig on. She's crying and the wig is crying. They're both crying. The wig is screaming and she's screaming. They're both crying about how good her son is. Now, her son is out on bond. He ain't even went to trial for this yet. He's out on bond for the unlawful use of a firearm. How much you want to bet that he has a lengthy criminal record? How much you want to bet that he has a lengthy criminal record? Let's continue.
This is body-worn camera footage from March 21st. 5 plainclothes tactical Chicago police officers riding in unmarked cars had just pulled Dexter Reed over for not wearing a seatbelt.
Don't roll the window up. Don't roll the window up.
Okay.
Copa
Now, everybody's going to say, how did they know that he had his seatbelt down if the windows are tinted? I can guarantee you all that they saw, because the window was down. His window was down. That's how they saw him. So again, everybody's focusing on why he got pulled over. But keep in mind, he's a criminal. So it ain't rocket. See, what y'all don't realize is this. I know that you all think the police are stupid, but let me tell you something. They do this every single day. The police do this every single day. They deal with criminals. So I'm telling you all now, you all think that you're slick, but you're not. They can spot a criminal. Hold up. Just like you all can spot a criminal, they can too. So again, these polices don't have a difficult time spotting out the criminals. It's not difficult. Especially when it's black folks. You know, black folks love to wear their criminality on their person. They say, I'm going to dress like it, I'm going to talk like it, I'm going to walk like it, I'm going to act like it. You know, black folks love looking like criminals. They're talking about I'm innocent. Isn't it funny that the Muslims are on the corners slinging bean pies and Final Call magazines, and the police never bother them? The Muslims be holding up traffic in the streets on every corner. The Muslims are always in the way, slinging bean pies and Final Calls, and the police never bother them. Now, y'all want me to believe that the Muslims, Nation of Islam, they're the ones fighting against the system, but the police never bother them. Make it make sense. There should be a list of stories about how the Nation of Islam members are getting harassed by the police, and you never see it, you never hear it. And they're the ones that, quote unquote, going against the system. Make it make sense. You know why? Because the Nation of Islam, although I think is very fraudulent, they're still out there doing a task. They are at least selling bean pies and Final Calls. They're actually doing something. See, the issue is these black men are on these streets roaming around like the boy told his mom, I'm going for a ride. Y'all out there selling dope. An idle mind is a devil's playground. So the problem with you young black men is that y'all are out in these streets and y'all don't have a task at hand. What are you doing? What is your purpose? I'll tell you what your purpose is. To cause death, destruction, and damnation.
release of footage yesterday from the corner of Ferdinand and Hamlin in Humboldt Park.
Open the door now!
Seconds into the traffic stop, Copa says the first shot was fired and it came from Reed. You can see in this video a puff of smoke from the passenger window. An officer tumbles with a gunshot wound to the arm.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Now, the police done got shot, and his mother is crying about why they pulled him over. You know, when you see this the most, is in the schools. This type of unaccountability in the black community happens when they're in school. Their child will be failing. Their child will be failing. The parent has never concerned themselves with what's going on with their child. The moment you tell that parent their child is not going to graduate or move forward, that parent is going to blame you. I've seen it all the time. The parent's going to blame the school. So again, this unaccountability in the black community is cultural. It is cultural to not accept responsibility in the black community. That's why the families are so destroyed. That's why, think about it. Think about the byproducts of not being responsible. Think about what they are. Poor education, high homicide rates, high abortion rates, high disease, high obesity. Like, just think about what being irresponsible, what it leads to. Let's continue.
Officers fire back, shooting a total of 96 times. Reed gets out of the SUV and walks toward the back, where he is shot multiple times. He falls.
Now, the police, they make you believe, again, this is context, 96 times. They shot 96 times. Well, it's multiple officers shooting. It's not one officer with a gun. It's multiple officers responding to getting shot at. There's going to be a lot of bullets. The clips hold either 15 or 17. There's going to be a lot of bullets. And guess what? All those shots were shot, and this guy gets out the car. Think about it. All those bullets were flying, and this dude gets out of his car and walks to the back of his car. For what reason? For what reason? You was better off staying in the car. You could have lived. So this guy gets out the car and walks to the back of his car. For what? Again, they're trying to make this George Floyd 2.0, but it's going to be very difficult. But I'm telling you all now, what Black folks are asking for is to not be held accountable. What Black folks are asking for is to be able to do the most heinous crimes, and instead of the police showing up, somebody shows up with a clipboard or an iPad to take notes to evaluate how sane the person is. What Black folks are asking for is the destruction of America. And we got to be honest. Let's continue.
To the ground as police continue to shoot. The head of COPA questioned Tuesday about the reason those officers stopped Reed.
The only information we have at this time is that the entire purpose behind the traffic stop was for Mr. Reed not wearing a seatbelt. We have no information that any other information about Mr. Reed was known to officers at that time.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with y'all. If I know that you're doing something wrong and you're up to no good, I'm going to deal with you on technicalities. Think about what I'm telling you. If I know that you're doing something wrong, I'm going to look at your tail light. I'm going to look at your seat. I'm going to look at the most nitpick thing, because the goal is to prevent crime. And Black people don't understand this. The goal is to prevent the crime. See, Black folks don't mind when crime takes place. Black folks don't care about that. The police want to prevent crime. So if I see y'all in a car, and I know y'all beefing, this gang beefing with this gang, this will be because the police know all of this stuff. The police know who's beefing, who's selling dope, who did this, who wants to. The police know all this information. Who wants to retaliate? The police know all of it. And so instead of y'all letting the police do their job and prevent these crimes, you all complain about the reason why they wanted to prevent the crime. This young man is riding around with a loaded gun. Mama, I'm going for a ride. He's riding around with a loaded gun to do what? If you feel that unsafe, then stay in the house. Let's continue.
What began as a peaceful protest yesterday afternoon did not end that way. As protesters blocked the intersection of Harrison and Kedzie, some women got into a fight. Police say one person was arrested, another had to go to the hospital. Another man was chased down after interrupting protesters' press conference.
But a seatbelt.
So y'all are protesting police brutality, and then y'all get to fighting. Let me go to IG real quick. IG. They are protesting Dexter Reed being shot by the police. In the midst of their protest, they start fighting each other. And y'all want me to not say anything about Black culture? These people are fighting at the protest. How you going, hold up, how are you going to protest police brutality by being brutal? How are you going to protest police brutality by being brutal? And then the one white guy that was there, they chased him off the block. Just make it make sense, y'all. Just make it make sense.
I cannot understand. A seatbelt. Sir, please. Sir, please.
Police had to shield him from the group. The protesters' message, however, wasn't lost. They questioned how an alleged traffic violation ended up with Reed dying in an officer's shot.
That makes no sense. Dexter's vehicle had tinted windows. So
Now, they're mad at the white guy, and I guarantee the white guy said he shot at police. So think what I'm saying. Just think about it. All these Black folks there, they have no clue about what's going on. They just ready to fight, ready to be violent. They start fighting. The white guy says he shot at y'all up there talking. Y'all got a microphone. Everybody's talking up there, but nobody's mentioning he shot at the police. Well, the white guy said, well, wait a minute, y'all. He shot at the police. Guess what Black folks say? Get him. Black people say, get the white guy because he's telling the truth. You see, when I talk about Black people ushering in the Antichrist, this is what I mean. Because the Antichrist is going to echo the sentiments of Black people. Let me ask you all a question right now. Do you all believe, let's say Satan was here. Let's say Satan was on the earth. And the media said there's a global conference, United Nations interviewing Satan. And they say, dear Satan, Mr. Satan, is racism in America real? Is America really racist? What do you think Satan's going to say? If the media asks Satan, is America racist? What do you think Satan's going to say? Tell me. What do you think Satan is going to say if they ask him, is America racist? We know that Satan is going to say, of course, America's racist. What if they ask him, well, Satan, are Black people oppressed? What do you think Satan will respond if they ask him, are Black people oppressed? What's he going to say? He's going to say, yes. Satan, Mr. Satan, do Black lives matter? What do you think he's going to say? Of course they matter. Like, think about it. All of Black people's talking points, Satan's going to agree with them. Satan is going to agree with every Black talking point, from America being racist to police brutality to oppression to Black Lives Matter. Like, Satan's going to agree with all of it. Satan is going to agree with all of it. So ask yourselves a question. If Satan is agreeing with me, how could it be true? If Satan is agreeing with me, then how could it be true? Satan, is police brutality real? Of course it's real. Is America racist? Of course it's racist. Are Black folks oppressed? Of course they're oppressed. Is abortion wrong? Of course abortion is not wrong. Like, Satan is going to agree with y'all, black people. Satan is going to agree with you, black people. Do you understand that? He's going to agree. The Antichrist is going to agree with what you all are saying. So my question is, if Satan and the Antichrist agree with you, then how could what you all are saying be good? How could it be true? How could it be right? The Antichrist is going to agree with every wicked agenda, all of them. Feminism, the climate change, all of them. Let's continue.
The argument that they were looking for a seatbelt issue doesn't make sense. It doesn't hold up.
Faith leaders on the West Side called for an independent investigation.
I believe in law and order.
An independent investigation. Do y'all listen? This man shot at the police, actually shot a police officer, and they want to investigate as to why he got pulled over. If I'm a police officer and I choose to pick a tail light or a seatbelt, what difference do it make? You're guilty. You right, and black folks, y'all are such, oh, your criminal skills are horrible. Do you all know when you're riding around, tinted windows, weed smoke coming out, music blasting, they know you already, what are we doing? What are we doing? Y'all not being slick. Y'all literally stand on the corner. Y'all literally ride around the hood. They're watching you. Do you understand that? Black folks, you're being watched. Y'all on social media committing crime. Y'all out in broad daylight. The police know what you all are doing. You're not slick. They're looking at you. If the old lady in the house peeking out of her window can see y'all selling dope, you know the police can. The old lady know y'all selling dope. Of course the police know. The old lady knows y'all got guns. Of course the police know. What are we talking about? This ain't a shock. Let's continue.
Community policing and police accountability. In the case of Mr. Reed, we demand to know how a simple traffic stop results in civilian death.
Along with the firearms charge, police records show Dexter Reed was also charged with retail theft last.
It doesn't hold up.
Faith leaders on the West Side called for an independent investigation.
I believe in law and order, community policing, and police accountability. In the case of Mr. Reed, we demand to know how a simple traffic stop results in civilian death.
Imagine somebody getting a venue, getting a microphone, table set up, getting staff, speaking. Imagine how much work goes into setting up all this stuff for black folks to speak, and they have no clue of what's going on. Imagine all this, and this really represents black culture. It's a whole lot of setup, but no substance. It's a whole lot of bullhorns, microphones, tables, flags, chants, marches, all this stuff, but no substance. You got black people having a microphone, platform, and stage and have no clue or idea of what happened.
Along with the firearms charge, police records show Dexter Reed was also charged with retail theft last year. He was out on a $5,000 bond. Both incidents happened before the new pre-trial detention rules went into effect under the Safety Act.
What you will find with criminals is if a person gets convicted of murder, they got a record usually. Most criminals are going to have a trail. They're going to have a past, a record. That's why the records mean something. That's why black folks are fighting so hard to make the record not matter, but the record matters. If you look at most criminals, when they commit the ultimate crime, which is probably murder, that crime, armed robbery or something, they usually have a trail. Those records matter. Those records matter. And so you see, he was out on bond for theft. He was out on bond for unlawful use of a firearm. Like, again, he's a criminal. He don't have a job. How did he get the car? Where did he get the money to get the car, Mom? Mom, I'm going to go ride around, Mom. These young black men ain't all out here doing bad. Some of them is out there trying to find their way. How you going to find your way on the block? It's a liquor store and it's a wing spot and it's a church over here that you ain't finna go to. How you going to find your way on the block? He's just trying to find his way. Now, keep in mind, these black folks have been getting out of jail and prison since 2020. Since 2020. Black folks been getting out of jail and prison since 2020. So all this prison reform stuff, y'all cannot complain about the last 4 years because black folks been getting out. Black folks been getting out since 2020. Black folks been getting out of prison and jail for no reason. Just let them go. So all this prison reform and the justice system is crooked and racist, all that's a lie. Because the past 4 years, they're letting y'all out for major stuff. I've covered videos on here where people got caught with kilos of cocaine in the car and got out, bonded out, talking about the arrest was wrong. And they literally found a brick.
We're live in the newsroom. I'm Eric Rung, WGN News.
Mayor Johnson called the video of Reed's death deeply disturbing. He urged people to stay calm as investigations continue. But some city council members see the incident differently.
As mayor and as a father raising a family, including 2 black boys on the west side of Chicago, I am personally devastated to see yet another young black man lose his life during an interaction with the police.
The one fact that
I'm personally
differently.
As mayor and
this is a propagandized statement. Why would he not say that people should not shoot at the police? Think about this. Why would he not say that people should not shoot at the police? Why would he leave this out? So basically what black folks are saying is they should be able to do anything they want to, anything, and not be held responsible by the police. That's what black folks are saying. When you hear black people say that the police were slave patrol, all that nonsense, that's cap. That's cap. How do I know it's cap? Because if you go to the old Western movies. It's a saying that says what? There's a new sheriff in town. I got my deputy. So the police weren't there to just lock up black people. It's a literal saying, there's a new sheriff in town. So clearly the police weren't there to just lock up black people and slave patrol. It's cap. It's cap. But why wouldn't this mayor, Chicago mayor, Adams, is it Adams? What's the Chicago mayor's name? Anyway, Brandon Johnson. Why wouldn't he say you should not shoot at the police?
as a father raising a family, including 2 black boys on the west side of Chicago, I am personally devastated to see yet another young black man lose his life during an interaction with the police.
You ain't devastated. You love it. You love it. These people love this to take place. You know why? It's a distraction. It's a distraction. They don't have to do anything. They can attack a symptom. We got to do this. We got to do that. It's foolishness. It's foolish. The Nation of Islam is in the hood, on the corners, going against white supremacy, and the police never bother them. They're selling bean pie without a permit. The Nation of Islam is operating with no kind of permit, setting up shop literally wherever they want to, literally paying for selling stuff and not paying taxes, and the police nor the IRS bother them. So my question for you black men is, why do y'all keep getting pulled over? Why y'all keep getting arrested? Why y'all keep getting shot? Y'all aren't going against white supremacy.
The one fact that remains beyond dispute is that Dexter Reed initiated the gun battle, period.
Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx is conducting her own review. She says her office will take its time deciding whether to file charges against the officers.
How you going to file charges against the officers and they got shot? Do you understand how insane this is? You understand the goal of all of this? The goal of all of this is for no police. How are you going to file charges against the police and they got shot at? What black folks are asking for is the destruction of America. The destruction of the world is via white people not being in charge. But I would argue that white people aren't really in charge. They've just set up structure. They just set up structure. So what they really want to do is get rid of the structure, because the devil needs chaos. And everybody knows if we get rid of white people, there will be literal utter chaos. When the last white person leaves a position of power, when I say white person, I'm not counting white liberals, because to me, white liberals are black. I make no separation between the white liberal and the bliggity black. The white libtard and the bliggity black. The only difference is that the white libtard is the one pulling the leash of the bliggity black, but they both the same. But we know that when that last white person, when I say white person, I mean a real white person, the white person that cares about their country, conservative, believes in God, that's the real white person. When that white person leaves their position of power, when the last one leaves, you're going to see the Antichrist show up. When the last white person steps down, you're going to see the Antichrist show up. Let me go to a clip. In the clip that I had. Let me go to a clip real quick. Over these past few days, I've really been soaking up black culture, and I came to an even harder stance on it. I'm going to go even harder against black culture because I see how destructive it really is. It's worse than I thought. Black culture is worse than I thought. Hold on one second. Let me. Now I want you to I want you to hear this clip. And when I heard this clip, you know, I thought it was nuts when I heard this young man say this. But I want you to hear what he says. Now, this is some foolishness, but I just want you to hear what he says. And I really want to, here we go. And I really, hold on. And I want, you know, hold on, because it really encapsulates what white people represent. This guy's a famous gang member from the Rolling 60s Crips. Name is Brick Baby. So apparently, giving y'all the backstory a little bit. So apparently, one of the guys, the guy in the purple, said something disrespectful, but he apologized real quick. Everybody was pressing Big Baby, why didn't you check him? Anyway, Brick Baby's on the phone telling somebody that his hood was off brand. It's just some foolishness. I'm just trying to give y'all the gist of the story. So basically, these guys are scared of the guy in the purple. And so Brick Baby's on this, they call this crashing out, but he's on here and he's letting everybody know how tough he is, how this is my home, you know, just being scared. Just put on a show, getting the Oscar like he was in Training Day. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. But anyway, I want you to hear what he says in this one particular part. Now, these are gang members, and their ultimate goal as a gang member is to kill other black people. That's the summation of a gang member. The end result is death. Either your legacy is dead, or your physical life is dead. But the end of the gangbanger's life is death, or you spend the rest of your life in prison. Either way, the end is death. And so, but I want you to listen to what he says in this clip. I ain't gonna play all of it, just some of it. This is one part.
Rolling 60s, nigga. Ain't near 40 coming to the 60s, nigga, with no type of drama, nigga. On SC, nigga. Only 40 come through that motherfucker is Pee Wee and Lil Vernon, nigga. Dead homies, nigga. Nigga, if you niggas got underlying conditions, nigga, hate the hood, nigga, on West Side Road to say that, nigga. On the dead homies, because y'all know what it is, nigga. And a nigga play ball. Bitch, the only reason I ain't come outside kill one of you niggas, cause I was in front of these white niggas. Dead homies, nigga.
Now, if you can decipher, let me decipher what he's saying. What Brick Baby is saying is that, you know, y'all are trying me knowing that your set don't have any issue with our set. Y'all would never do this in the hood. That's why you're doing it here. But notice what he says. He says, I would have went outside and killed you, but I was in front of these white people. Pay attention. He said, I would have gone outside and killed you all, but I was in front of these white people. I'm gonna play it again. This encapsulates the importance of white people right here.
What it is, nigga. And a nigga play ball. Bitch, the only reason I ain't come outside kill one of you niggas, cause I was in front of these white niggas. Dead homies, nigga. Me and the homies.
So the only reason he didn't murder another black man or black men is because the white people were just there. The white folks didn't say, don't do it. The white folks said, we're going to call the police. The presence of the white people at the establishment made him not want to kill his own. This encapsulates how important white people are. The mere presence of white people, the mere just being there makes black people get right. How do we know this? When there was a white Jesus hanging in the homes of black people, black folks got married, they got educated, and they worked. When white Jesus was hanging in black folks' homes, black folks acted right. I'll play it again. Now, y'all call me sellout. Y'all call me coon. Y'all call me bootlicker. Hold on, sellout, bootlicker, coon. What's the other one? Sellout, bootlicker, coon. Could have sworn it was the fourth one. Anyway, but y'all call me a sellout, a bootlicker, and a coon. This guy said, I would have murdered somebody black, but the white folks were standing here. So I gave him a pass. Let's play it again. Now listen now. This is one of the biggest platforms for black culture. This is no jumper. This is one of the biggest platforms for black culture. And I want you to hear what one of the most well-known gang members in California has said. This is Brick Baby. I'm going to play it again.
You play ball. Bitch, the only reason I ain't come outside kill one of you niggas cause I was in front of these white niggas. Dead homies, nigga. Me and the homies would have crashed, nigga. On 6-0, nigga, I don't give a.
So again, you heard him say, if I wasn't around these white people, I would have killed y'all. So in other words, the presence of white people are going to make me behave. This is the underlying reason why there's an anti-white agenda. Because the presence of white people, just the mere presence, is going to bring about some kind of order and civility, just because they're present. And it's not racism, it's not colonialism, it's not from slavery. It's because white people have created structure. We live in a structured environment in America. You go to most white countries, probably all of them, it's a structured environment. It's structured. But again, Brick Baby would never ever get called a sellout. He will never ever be called a coon. He will never ever be called a bootlicker. But he just admitted he was ready to kill somebody that was black, but the mere presence of a white person standing there made him not do it. This is on the largest, this is one of the largest podcasting platforms for black culture. This is no jumper with Adam 22. This is a well-known podcast. This is worldwide. No, this is worldwide. Play it one more time.
What it is, nigga. And a nigga play ball. Bitch, the only reason I ain't come outside kill one of you niggas cause I was in front of these white niggas. Dead homies, nigga. Me and the homies would have crashed, nigga. On 6-0, nigga, I don't give a fuck about none of that, nigga.
So he cares about the opinions of white people more than he does killing someone black. I'm going to say it again. He cares about the opinions of a white person more than he cares about killing someone black. This is why there's an anti-white agenda, because the mere presence of white people is going to bring some civility and some order and some structure and some balance around. This is why there's an anti-white agenda. There's a saying that says when the cat's away, the mice will play. So the goal is to get rid of white people so the world can have a party. But the world having a party is to usher in the Antichrist. And make no mistake about it, the only people going against Klaus Schwab, going against the Great Reset, going against climate change, going against DEI, going against the communism and Marxism, the only people doing it are conservative, God-fearing, most of them white people. So the greatest threat to the system is not the black man and the black woman uniting. It's not the kings and the queens. The greatest threat to the system is the white person that believes in God and cares about their country and cares about their family and cares about their fellow man. You know, listen, I know they're going to get upset, but they know it's true. They're going to get mad, but it's true. When black folks had white Jesus, just tell me what coincided. Look at the advancements that black folks made with white Jesus. And then compare those advancements to what black folks did with black Jesus. When Jesus was white, black folks had great credit. As soon as Jesus became black, black folks' credit dropped 200 points. I'm just telling y'all. I just wanted to play that. I'm sorry. I just want to play that. That was Dexter Reed. Let's play somebody else. This is why y'all keep getting in trouble. I'll give you all somebody else. This is why y'all keep getting in trouble. People like this.
From Governor Master Live, keep it real, keep it gutter. Don't forget about the countdown. November 2024, I need your vote. Time for a change. To all prisoners that's convicted felony, they come from Hunts, they come from Angola, they come from the feds. I know y'all took up trades and then I know y'all got y'all GED and y'all diploma. When y'all come home and you work, you will receive $600 and a free deep freezer. Keep it real, keep it gutter. Look at God. Oh, we're not doing 60 hours and 80 hours no more. Everybody gonna work Monday through Friday, and the weekends off. But daycare will be open on a weekend, 24 hours. Y'all want to party, happy hour, go to a wedding party, take a vacation, I'm okay. I'm going to up the pay for the nurses. I'm going to up the pay for the daycare. Keep it real, keep it good. Medicaid, all that's going to be free. Get your teeth clean, check on your health. If you need surgery, all that you ain't got to pay for because I'm going to up the doctor pay, I'm going to up the nurses pay. It's time for a change. This is your governor speaking. I need y'all support come November 2024.
Now, this guy is running for governor of Louisiana. So everything he's saying is communism. The work week is Monday through Friday, no weekends, daycare for the week. Like everything he's saying is communism. No more overtime. Everything he's saying is communism. Let's listen to him. And this is how black folks get messed up because they're looking at him and he looks black. They're not listening to him though. They're not listening. This is one of black people's major flaws in black culture is that black culture says, you already know. You ain't got to listen. Let's play it again.
From Governor Master Live, keep it real, keep it gutter. Don't forget about the countdown. November 2024, I need your vote. Time for a change. To all prisoners that's convicted felony, they come from Hunts, they come from Angola, they come from the feds. I know y'all took up trades and then I know y'all got y'all GED and y'all diploma. When y'all come home and you work, you will receive $600 and a free deep freezer. Keep it real, keep it gutter. Look at God. Oh.
When you come home from serving your time, you're going to get $600 and a deep freezer. To put where? Socialism. Socialism. You're going to come home and get $600 in a deep freezer. For what? Socialism.
We're not doing 60 hours and 80 hours no more. Everybody gonna work Monday through Friday and the weekends off. But daycare will be open on a weekend, 24 hours. Y'all want to party, happy hour, go to a wedding party, take a vacation. I'm okay. I'm up to pay for the nurses. I'm up to pay for the daycare. Keep it real, keep it going.
Communism. No overtime. I'm up to pay Monday through Friday. Y'all can have fun on the weekends. Somebody will take care of your children. Like, it's just communism.
Medicaid, all that's gonna be free. Get your teeth clean, check on your health. If you need surgery, all that you ain't gotta pay for, because I'm gonna up the doctor pay, I'm gonna up the nurses pay. It's time for a change.
He just gonna up. Now listen, and a Dream Life shared this with me. She has a term called magical thinking. And Black folks have magical thinking. Like, Black folks don't understand point A to point Z. Black folks think it literally goes from point A then to Z. They don't understand it goes from B, C, D, A to Z. No middle process. Now, this guy is talking crazy. But how many Black folks support him? A lot.
This is your governor speaking. I need y'all support come November 2024. Don't cut no corners. And like I said, hey man, it's time for a change. I'm gonna keep it real, keep it good. I'm out of here.
Anyway, he can't even talk. But guess what? Benjamin Crump can't talk either. Imagine having a position where you got to be able to speak and Black folks give you a pass on it. Imagine having a position where you had to be able to speak and Black folks say, oh, no, you cool. You ain't got to be able to talk. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Okay, let's see what we got.
With to some Black lawyers who were graduating from law school, and I told them I failed you, and they said, why? I said, because I can't afford to hire you. Black people are the only people that send their brightest and their best to white colleges and white people. We talk about the football players and the Black basketball players for dating white women, where you sent them to white colleges and made them be around all white people anyway. The problem is that most Black people want to be white in the first place and won't admit it. They don't want to stay around Black people when they get their money. They don't want to go to HBCUs. I don't think HBCUs should be a choice. I think that should be the only option that you have.
Now, imagine David Banner getting an ovation in the room. He doesn't realize that the Black colleges aren't owned by Black people. Imagine David Banner, again, I tell you all, he has a microphone, he has a stage, and has no clue of what's going on. Black people are the only group of people on the planet that get an audience and have no idea what they are saying. No other race of people get to just get all this set up and just don't know what they're talking about. David Banner says it should be mandatory to go to a HBCU, which aren't owned by Black people. The last college that was owned by Black folks was Morris Brown. It was owned by the Methodist Church. And it got shut down because they were stealing money. HBCUs are not owned by Black people. It's a misconception. But my question is, why doesn't David Banner know this? David Banner know this. Why doesn't David Banner know this? Why doesn't he know that HBCUs are not owned by Black people? I'll tell you why he doesn't know. Because he doesn't have to know. You see, when you're talking to Black people, you don't have to have the truth or the facts. I'm going to say it again. When you're speaking to Black people, you don't have to have truth or facts. This is how Satan runs so rampant in the Black community, because Black folks at the end of the day don't care about truth and facts. They care about what feels good, what looks good, what sounds right. Now, many Black folks think David Banner is a genius. A genius. They think he's so smart, a scholar. I'm not saying he's dumb. I'm just saying that Black colleges aren't owned by Black people. So you want Black folks to go to a Black college because of what it looks like, not from what it actually is.
That's you trying to go and get something and bring it back to the community.
For those of you who say Black people can't be racist, Exhibit A. Now let's address the video. First, just because Black people choose to not associate themselves with nor attend HBCUs doesn't mean we want to be white. Okay, we have just chosen a different path and want a different type of education. Second, you couldn't pay me to move my family into a Black neighborhood, and I grew up in one. They're not the same. Okay, and once I graduate law school and increase my income, I wouldn't invest one red cent into a Black community with a mindset like yours. Thank you.
So again, David Banner said the quiet part out loud. We'll play it again.
To some Black lawyers who were graduating from law school, and I told them I failed you, and they said, why? I said, because I can't afford to hire you. Black people are the only people that send their brightest and their best to white colleges and white people. We talk about the football players and the Black basketball players for dating white women, where you sent them to white colleges and made them be around all white people anyway. The problem is that most Black people want to be white in the first place and won't admit it. They don't want to stay around Black people when they get their money.
Now, he just said most Black people don't want to stay around Black people. Now think about this now. Most Black people don't want to stay around Black people, and he would say that America's racist and white folks are racist. Well, if that's true, you're telling me that Black folks would rather be around racist white people than to be around Black people. That's an indictment on Black people. That's an indictment on Black people. Why would I get some money, get a better position in life, and stay in the hood? For what reason? To get robbed? To get harassed? Y'all remember the movie Friday? Remember Friday the movie? Remember Stanley? Stanley had a little yard. Stanley dressed prim and proper. Stanley didn't bother nobody. They used to walk on Stanley's grass, and they broke in his house and stole Stanley's money. Now think about this now. Stanley was a decent guy. He could have been flaming, but he was a decent guy. He at least cared about his appearance. He had some, you could tell he had some values. In the movie Friday, it was a comedy, but it showed you how the community treated Stanley. Walking across his grass and then breaking in his house. So the question is, why would Black people want to stay around black people. Why would they? And look what he said. You want to be white if you don't want to suffer with being black. Let me say that better. You want to be white if you don't want to suffer around black people. This is communism. Listen to what he's saying. You got to go to a HBCU. You got to stay around black people. That's torture. That's torture.
They don't want to go to HBCUs. I don't think HBCUs should be a choice. I think that should be the only option that you have. Unless you're trying to go and get something and bring it back to the community.
For those of you who say black people can't be racist, Exhibit A. Now let's address the video. First, just because black people...
Now, somebody says, I make damn good money and live in the hood only because I own property here. Folks here respect me and I respect them. It's simple. Now, again, when I'm talking to black people, you're talking to black people, most black people get lost in context and nuance. Now, I guarantee if you live in the hood, you value your property. How many black folks around you value your property? How many black folks around you are going to vote in the interest of you keeping your property? You see, black folks love dealing with anomalies, but I can guarantee if he lives in the hood, everybody around him, if push comes to shove, is going to vote for communism. They're going to vote for socialism. If he's in the hood, like he says, most people don't care about their stuff because your neighborhood is your stuff. Your parks are your stuff. So the fact that black people allow criminal activity to take place in their community means they don't care about it. The fact that black folks allow murder to take place and then say don't snitch means they don't care about it. So although he believes he's being treated with respect, it's not really respect. How can somebody respect you if they don't respect themselves? It's impossible. There's no way that black folks can respect you if your community is the hood. It's impossible. They don't respect the sidewalk. They don't respect the street. They don't respect anything, but they respect you. That sounds very foolish and very arrogant. And it's very arrogant. In the end of the day, all those folks in the hood are going to vote for communism. Black folks have proven that they're going to pick leaders that are compromised. So if you're in the hood, more than likely, the people that black folks vote for are going to bring in a bunch of immigrants. Give me all the truth. Give me all the facts. The black community should never be referred to as the hood. The fact that it's called the hood tells me everything. The fact that black people took out the word neighbor because the Bible says what? Love thy neighbor. So what black folks did was black folks took Satan's way. We're going to remove neighbor because the Bible says love thy neighbor as I love thyself. So I'm going to remove that. Now it's just the hood. I don't have any personal responsibility to the hood. It can be trashy. It can be violent. It can be impoverished. It can be drug infested. Think about it. Neighborhood to just hood. It's a reason. So although he believes he's being respected, he's not. Because to respect you is to respect the environment. To respect you is to respect the environment. Have y'all been to Toronto? If you go to Toronto, there are literally people garbage men that are picking up trash on the street. Toronto is one of the cleanest cities in the world. They take pride in the city being clean. But guess what? Toronto being clean is a reflection of the people. You go to Toronto, folks are respectful, hospitable, everything. You go to the hood, not so much. So to respect you is to respect your environment.
Choose to not associate themselves with nor attend HBCUs doesn't mean we want to be white. Okay, we have just chosen a different path and want a different type of education. Second, you couldn't pay me to move my family into a black neighborhood, and I grew up in one. They're not the same. Okay, and once I graduate law school and increase my income, I wouldn't invest one red cent into a black community with a mindset like yours. Thank you.
Yes, Toronto's clean. Somebody said Arizona, Phoenix is clean. Seattle is clean. Now, these places are all liberal, pretty much liberal, but they are clean. They are clean. But let's continue. Oh, this is funny right here. Hold on. Hold on. Look at your girl. Look at your girl.
So I'm speaking at the University of Maryland, and I gotta tell you, like, one of the things that really gets my goat is just people consistently telling me that I just like don't have friends from the shows that I'm on, you know? Like, I don't know.
What you doing? Are we live?
And in full.
Are we live?
Yes. I have plenty of friends from the shows I'm on, y'all. I'm a very likable gal.
Hey, let me get a ride and $20.
Now, Amanda Seals posted this video to try to make us believe that people like her. Look at her face. Hold up. Look how the camera caught her face. Now, she wants us to believe that people like her. Look at the scowl on her face because she knows it's not real. She knows it's not real. Nobody likes her. She knows this. This interaction is so fake.
So I'm speaking at the University of Maryland, and I gotta tell you, like, one of the things that really gets my goat is just people consistently telling me that I just like don't have friends from the shows that I'm on, you know? Like, I don't know.
What you doing? Are we live?
And in full.
Are we live?
Yes. I have plenty of friends from the shows I'm on, y'all. I'm a very likable gal.
Hey, let me get a ride and $20.
He's so fake though. Like, look at this stank face. Nobody likes Amanda Seals. Nobody likes Amanda Seals. Nobody. Look at her face. Look at that stank face. Face just stank. Okay, y'all. Let's jump into
reduction of the issue. And I
hold on, let me catch somebody else being fake. One more, hold on, y'all. One more fake person. One more fake person.
To say this to you. I had always, and we had a different relationship than we do now.
I was going to talk about
But
that.
watching the way that you had,
Go on. Sorry.
okay, well, I'll
go
say
on.
this
No, go on,
as a
please.
prelude.
Go on.
Watching the way that you have handled such a public attempt at annihilating your character and your career, watching the way you've handled it with aplomb and dignity and strength and courage makes me so proud that you're a black man. It makes me so proud. It really does. It makes me well, you know how I felt. I called you and told you how I felt. But I think that everything that they think about us, you were different. You didn't get angry. You weren't a victim. You didn't blame. You just did. And even in this last thing, so I can't tell you how proud it makes me because what I think culturally we do, we own the bad things, like when something happens, oh, I hope that ain't a black person, but we don't own the good. So we're a generation that got Barack Obama and Flavor Flav. We got a nation of people, but I think to see people like you in a very public way who handle who handle adversity and really, I think things that would shatter a lot of people, to watch you do that made me very proud.
This was disgusting. D.L. Hughley is a used tampon from a pig. Imagine you put a tampon on a pig. That's what D.L. Hughley is. He's a pig tampon. He's a pork maxi pad. D.L. Hughley is disgusting. He's disgusting. Disgusting. Oh, I see my IG is freezing up. My bad. D.L. Hughley and Don Lemon are great men. They make America better. Joe Biden is the best president ever. Kamala Harris is the best vice president. She is truly a queen, and we need her. Barack Obama is the greatest leader we've ever had in the history of the world. Michelle Obama has a beautiful back. What else? What else? Planned Parenthood is a great organization. Margaret Sanger is wonderful. I'm trying to get my IG working back right. You know, they got me shadow banned, so I'm trying to fix the algorithm. But anyway, D.L. Hughley is disgusting. He is truly disgusting. Right. COVID is real. The masks work. The shots work. And, all that. Yeah. Yeah. All that, But anyway, let's continue. Okay, let's get to
Son of a is gonna pay.
Barely speaking above a whisper.
This is justice for Sade.
And fighting back tears.
Who the would do something like this to my beautiful baby?
Sheena Scarborough.
She hurt nobody.
Was pushing forward for her daughter.
Now, I don't want to sound non-sympathetic, but I gotta tell the truth. I gotta speak my mind. I gotta speak it how it is.
Hold on. Before I get on him and this take, let me get to the gist of what is going on when it comes to this young lady.
Barely speaking above a whisper.
This is justice for Sade.
And fighting back tears.
Who the would do something like this to my beautiful baby?
Sheena Scarborough.
She hurt nobody.
Was pushing forward for her daughter, 19-year-old Sade Robinson. Friday, Robinson's family sat in court and heard the grim details surrounding her death, while staring at the man accused of taking her life, 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson.
The allegations in the complaint are abhorrent. It was the highest level of violence imaginable.
Prosecutors say Anderson and Robinson were going on a date Monday evening on April 1st. The state says they went back to Anderson's Southside apartment around 9 o'clock, where they say he killed her between then and early Tuesday morning. Okay,
so already we know that if we got any kind of sense, this is called tricking off. Now, she's 19, he's 33. You're not going to make me believe that she wants to be with this guy. Listen, you're not going to make me believe that she saw this guy online and said, I want him. We're not going to do that. What this is she was being a solicitor of sex. This is called a trick. He's a trick. She's the, I'm sorry, she got dismembered. May God bless her soul. I feel sorry. Prayers to the family. But she was tricking. There's no way she wanted to be with this guy, and he's 33. So he's 33 years old. She's 19, freshman in college. She goes out with the guy, and then goes back to his place. I don't want to hear all this stuff about she liked him. It was, and no, listen, it's called selling your body. Y'all can get mad all you want. He was tricked. That's how he got her. Ain't no way in the world you go out with this guy. Y'all got nothing in common. He look crazy. Y'all have nothing in common. And I'm pretty sure she black girl magic, all this stuff. She went out with him because she wanted to get paid. Why she went back to his apartment. Why are you going back to his apartment on the first date? Let's go.
They say he then dismembered her body and scattered pieces around the county.
Defendant did a tremendous amount of work to try to cover up the crime, including lighting Miss Robinson's vehicle on fire.
Last week, police found and connected a severed human leg in Cudahy and a foot in Milwaukee to Robinson. After text messages and witness statements linked the two together, Anderson was arrested April 4th during a traffic stop. He's now charged with first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and arson.
Sade was more than a person. She was an angel. Not having her right now is very painful.
Family says the entire timeline has them shaken.
Imagine trying to bury your niece with no body for the service. I need justice for Sade.
And they want the person responsible to pay.
Again, Sade Robinson was out there selling her body. Some of y'all have eloquently stated that she was hoeing. She was out there hoeing, 10 toes down. She was doing, and it cost her. Now, instead of the lesson being here, don't sell your body. Instead of the lesson being here, don't go to a stranger's house at night. Instead of that being a lesson, y'all want justice. Not on this podcast. On this podcast, we don't seek justice. We seek what's right. And what's right is to tell the whole story. The only way she entertained this guy is because he was paying. That's the only reason. He was tricking off.
And Anderson's attorney also tried to get that first-degree intentional homicide charge dismissed, saying there wasn't enough evidence to prove it, but that was dismissed. And he's in jail tonight on a $5 million cash bond. His attorney also tried to get reduced to $500,000, and that request was also dismissed. He's due back in court April 22nd.
Right, Doug. She's a renegade, and a renegade is a young lady that doesn't have a pimp. She on her own. Now, listen, I don't condone pimping and prostitution. But I will say this. Having a pimp does give you a level of protection. There is a man somewhere around that's going to make sure they don't get out of hand. So, again, you selling your stuff, you in college, you making a little extra money, you doing this, she innocent, she an angel, all that's cap. She got with the wrong trick. And I'm sorry to say it. The wages of sin are still death, and it's not racial. It's not racial. It is not racial at all.
Maxwell Anderson.
Black men lead the charge in killing black women. I'm going to say it again. Black men lead the charge in killing black women. Black men kill black women the most, not white men. So this ain't about race. There's nothing to do with race. This is about a young lady living a life of sin. This is about a guy that's a demon. Pretty soon, if you live a life of sin, eventually you're going to come in contact with a demon. If you're living a life of sin, eventually you will come in contact with Satan. That's how it works. So black men kill black women the most, contrary to popular belief. It's not white men, so I don't want to hear this cliche, you date white, I don't want to hear that. You got a higher chance for a black woman to be either SA'd, molested, R-word, or killed, beat by a black man. Let's continue.
Including what law enforcement sources tell us they found in his basement.
Anderson has not been charged. At the same time, 19-year-old Sade Robinson has been missing for 10 days.
Police say she was last seen April 1st with her burnt car later found near 30th and Lisbon.
This past weekend, investigators discovered human remains near 31st and Galena over 3 consecutive days.
Now, this is the second place a body part was found in Milwaukee County in a week. That severed leg was found in Warnemont Park in Cudahy on April 2nd.
12 News Hannah Hilliard is live outside Anderson's home near 39th in Oklahoma. And Hannah, you've been looking into his past all day long.
Yeah, Joyce and Patrick, and we have uncovered a lot, including Anderson's ties to Waukesha County and what sources are telling us investigators found inside this home exactly 1 week ago. This is the man behind bars, but not yet charged.
In the interest of Maxwell Stephen Anderson,
appearing in court in connection to a case that's captivated Milwaukee. Who is Maxwell Anderson? We know he's a Southside resident whose house at 39th in Oklahoma was searched by investigators 2 days after someone found a severed leg on the Lake Michigan shore in Cudahy. 12 News has confirmed the 33-year-old man has ties to Waukesha County, attending Kettle Moraine, Catholic Memorial, and Pewaukee high schools in the early 2000s. Anderson has a criminal record, a 2014 misdemeanor disorderly conduct conviction in Waukesha County after an incident with a family member in Delafield, and in 2015, a misdemeanor domestic violence case out of Door County. For the last few years, he's worked at several Milwaukee bars.
What I tell you all about the criminal record, there's always going to be a criminal record following these people. There's always going to be some kind of involvement with the law.
Works full-time, including the rave from 2018 to 2020, most recently working at Victor's nightclub on the east side. A woman who claims she met Anderson there spoke to 12 News by phone, but asked not to be identified out of fear for her safety. She says he once invited her to his Southside home.
I remember there being something about a hole in the yard, and this was back in fall. I remember asking about it, and he was like, oh, I'm building a garden.
In a view from News Chopper 12,
all right, that looks like a hole there, actually.
A gaping hole next to Anderson's house was visible earlier this week. Inside the home,
and when I got in, it just kind of seemed like he was in the middle of a whole bunch of renovations, but kind of seemed like the kind of guy that never would finish them.
Thursday, 12 News learned from multiple law enforcement sources Anderson had what is described as a sex dungeon in his basement.
So I got a little bit of a tour, and he was like, do you want to see the basement? And I was like, no, I'm okay. He's like, it's creepy down there. And I was like, no, that's okay.
My question is, again, how did he get this black queen back to his house on the first date? I guarantee if I look at her past, she ain't been with no white guy look like this. So my question is, how does this innocent angel, as she was described, this black queen, angel, innocent, how did she end up back at this man's house? Now, this young lady said, no, thank you. She didn't go to the basement. She made out alive. So what made this young lady go to a perfect stranger's house? And he's white. And let y'all tell it, white folks are racist, evil and bad. So how did the racist, evil and bad white man get you back to his place? How did the white man that's out to get black people, how did he get you back to the place? Got to make it make sense. Got to make it make sense. So my thoughts on this case when I first heard it was she was hoeing. It is what it is. He was tricking and she was hoeing, but he was tricking to get her. People say, why did he cut her body up? To confuse law enforcement. You know, you put a foot over here, you know, you play hokey pokey with it. You put your left foot over here, you put your right leg over there, you put her body parts all over the place to confuse law enforcement. So you got them looking in multiple cities. You know what I'm saying? They don't know where to look. Was it here? Was it there? They confused. He watched too much TV though. Because that wasn't gonna work. It's too much DNA. We in the DNA age now. You put your left foot in, you put your left foot out, you put your right leg in, then you shake it. So again, I'm gonna talk about the uncomfortable lesson. Young ladies, you're 19 years old. You should not be dating a guy that's 33 years old. I'm sorry. Young ladies, you are 19 years old. You should not be dating a guy that's 33. You should not be going back to his apartment. So again, had you been, like I always say, be still, stay in the house, open that Bible up, that would have saved her life. Think about it, if she was at home, think about it, this is a Monday night. She went on a date on a Monday night. Not even a weekend. You go out with a guy on a Monday night and go back to his place? Yeah. You up to no good. I'm sorry. Let's go. Let's continue.
Now, Hannah, Anderson hasn't been charged, but is still being held after almost a week in jail.
Right, Joy. So the court did
arson. A criminal complaint shows on April 1st, Sade Robinson and Anderson went on a date at Twisted Fisherman just west of downtown. Court documents show that Sade's phone was tracked, and it shows her location at Twisted Fisherman and then at Duke's on Water. Court documents also detail.
So they went to the Twisted Fisherman. She got good and full. Then she went to get some drinks. So now again, Twisted Fisherman, you done stuffed yourself full of crab legs. Now you're going to get some drink, Patron margaritas. So again, you think you finna come up. You got a trick because he's spending money. He done spent about $200 on you already. So I know what you're thinking. And more black women do this than you could imagine. Give you a prime example. At my gym, there's a guy that was in my gym, and he asked this guy to hold some money for him. It was $15,000. And so when he came back to the guy, he said, "Let me count the money." So the guy put the money out. And so the money's at the gym is behind the counter, and they looking at the money. Okay, boom, 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 boom. So the young lady, Black Girl Magic Queen, she sees them counting the money. That's 15 racks. So why she start crying? It just been so hard. I've been struggling. I'm about to get evicted. Why, when she saw that money, she started crying, talking about how hard life was, talking about how she needed this, needed that. Listen, ready to sell her soul for that money. It's just been so hard. I've been working. I can't get a break. I've been trying to make it. Listen, true story. She saw that 15,000. She saw that money come out that bag. Well, them eyes started welling up. Thought she had a lick. And he looking at her, and he was so disappointed. He was like, not you. He was so disappointed. He was like, God. He was so disappointed. Anyway. Right. Dry begging. Let's continue.
Her phone was tracked to the area of Anderson's home. After being at Anderson's home for approximately 3 hours and 19 minutes, her phone was then traced to a park in River West for about a half hour. Then, court documents show her phone was pinged near Warnemont Park, where the severed leg was found early last week. Within the criminal complaint, authorities say the severed leg did belong to Sade Robinson. In addition to finding the severed leg, authorities say they also found a foot and human flesh, along with Sade's clothes she was wearing, which were inside her burned car.
Now imagine young black girls missing this entire lesson because black folks saying it's about race. Imagine young black women missing the entire lesson in this because they done made it about race. This has nothing to do with race and everything to do with you all being at home and being still. This is post 2020. These folks are jabbed up and crazy. These folks have an alien octopus baby in their body talking to the demon in their body. They done cut CERN on. It's so much going on that your discernment is going to have to be the most it's ever been at its highest level. Now, why would this black queen, this natural black goddess, want to be with this scruffy looking white dude? It don't even make any sense. The only conclusion I draw is that she was selling and he was buying. Or better yet, he was hacking and chopping. I guess he said he wanted a discount. How much would it be for a leg? I'm just saying. There is a lesson in all of this. And the lesson is stay at home, getting that word. Even if you go out with him, you should never go back to his apartment or house. On the first date, you're going back to his house?
Inside the courtroom this morning, Anderson's attorney tried to get the intentional homicide charge thrown out. He stated that he didn't believe there was enough probable cause for the intentional homicide charge. The judge denied that motion and says there is enough probable cause for the intentional homicide charge. Defense also asked for Anderson's bail to be taken down to $500,000. Sade Robinson's family spoke with us briefly after the court appearance.
Sick son of a is gonna pay. This is justice for Sade. Who the would do something like this to my beautiful baby? She hurt nobody.
Hold up. Protect your children. Children, honor thy father and thy mother. And if you can't honor your father, your mother, then honor God. If you cannot honor your father and your mother, then honor God. There are no excuses. Her life would have been saved had she not been out there in these streets. There was no reason for her to go to the crab spot, to the bar, to his house. There's no reason to do it. Go home. But you wanted that money, and it cost you. It cost you everything.
Now, I mean, what do
Sick son of a is gonna pay.
Barely speaking above a whisper
This is justice for Sade.
and fighting back tears.
Who the would do something like this to my beautiful baby?
Sheena Scarborough
She hurt nobody.
was pushing forward for her daughter.
Now, I don't want to sound non-sympathetic, but I gotta tell the truth. I gotta speak my mind. I gotta speak it how it is. Now, I mean, What do you expect, sis? You're not teaching your daughter that she should not be going outside of her race to go talk to nobody other than people that look like her.
Now imagine his lesson for the mom is to tell her daughter to not date outside of her race. As if there aren't bad black men in her race that would do the same thing. There are many black serial killers, do all kind of gruesome stuff. So again, the real lesson in all of this is going to be lost because he's going to make it about race.
See, in the Bible, it tells us that we should not be intermingling. But in the Western world, they tell you that it's okay. This is coming from a country that once upon a time forbid you from even walking inside their store. But now all of a sudden, this is what they're pushing. They're pushing this interracial nonsense. You know why? Because they're trying to contaminate the pure breeds and infuse themselves. And this ain't nothing racist, right? I stand with Europeans being with Europeans, Chinese being with Chinese, and blacks being with blacks. Ain't nothing wrong with that because that's the order of the universe, right?
Now just imagine this man telling his daughter, don't date outside your race. And then she go get with a fool and he kills her. Again, black men are the ones that kill black women the most. Black women are killed the most by black men, not white men. Black men kill black women. Matter of fact, the second leading cause of death for black women ages 1 to 19 is homicide. Who do you think is killing them? The second leading cause for black women ages 1 through 19 is homicide. Who do you think is killing them? Okay. It's not white men.
The tigers sleep with the tigers, the lions with the lions. And that's the same way it should be with us. But that's what you get, mama.
No wisdom, no discernment, no understanding, just low-hanging fruit. Just low-hanging fruit commentary and a false one. Yeah, I think that's... I can't think of the one I wanted. Oh, here we go.
Is to destroy the earth, he has to begin with a woman. Because if he touches the woman, he has touched the world. Do you realize that Adam and Eve never had children in the garden?
Now, I think this was the guy that was wearing a dress in church, or he's wearing the pants with the very wide legs, but I like what he said in this clip.
The devil is to destroy the earth, he has to begin with a woman. Because if he touches the woman, he has touched the world. Do you realize that Adam and Eve never had children in the garden? Satan intercepted the woman way before Adam and Eve got intimate, because if Adam became intimate with Eve before the tree, then there will be a race of people that are not affected by sin. So Satan had to make sure, I need to get the woman first, because in her, that is where every man will come from. If I can mess her up, I have messed up the whole human race. I don't need Adam, I need the helper. Because the helper is the one that has the ability to help him fulfill his destiny.
Now, I thought what he said is very powerful. And, you know, a broken clock is right twice a day, you know, so I gotta give him credit on this message. And I talk about in a relationship that Satan going to come to the woman, because the woman's weakness is her ears. Remember, the faith comes by hearing and hearing the word of God. The woman's weakness is her ears. So when women listen to something, that's how they get God. That's how a guy doesn't look too good can get with a chick because he can talk to her, get in her head. Men, our weakness is our eye gates. It's what we see is our weakness. We are visual. Let's play it again real quick.
The devil is to destroy the earth. He has to begin with a woman. Because if he touches the woman, he has touched the world. Do you realize that Adam and Eve never had children in the garden? Satan intercepted the woman way before Adam and Eve got intimate. Because if Adam became intimate with Eve before the tree, then there will be a race of people that are not affected by sin.
So, and what he said is very foreshadowing when we get to the 144,000, 12,000 from each tribe. They're going to be basically virgins, you know, basically going to be like Christ on the earth. But notice that he said that Adam and Eve did not procreate till after the fall. Had they had procreated before, then they would have offspring that would have not been born in sin. But anyway, somebody said that he said that fornication isn't a sin. I don't know why he said that, because fornication is a sin.
So Satan had to make sure, I need to get the woman first, because in her, that is where every man will come from.
And so remember that even God said that Satan's seed and the woman's seed are going to go to be at odds with each other. That the woman's seed is going to bruise the serpent's head, and the serpent's going to bruise her seed's heel. So we know that there is a war between Satan's seed and Eve's seed, the woman's seed. And so it makes sense for Satan to attack the woman, because guess what he did? He essentially put everyone under the curse of sin. This is why Christ had to come back. This is why Christ had to come. Because essentially we were all cursed because you brought sin into the bloodline. So in a relationship, women, Satan's coming to you. Satan's coming to you. And Satan's way to get to you is to make you think that bad behavior is okay. This is the number one Achilles heel for women. It's bad behavior. Thinking that bad behavior is okay.
I can mess her up. I have messed up the whole human race. I don't need Adam. I need the helper. Because the helper is the one that has the ability to help him fulfill his destiny.
So, again, we have a lack of accountability in the Black community. We have Dexter Reed, lack of accountability. Sade Robinson, lack of accountability, and they're both dead from a lack of accountability. The enemy is clever. So the enemy is going to make you believe that what you are doing is right. He's going to make you believe that your sin is justified. It's not just diabolical plot. People think it's this lizard people plot and putting stuff in the food and all that. All that's nothing. Every weapon the enemy has, you have a defense against it if you trust God. Where two or more are gathered, there I am also. Every trick of the enemy, every weapon, every wicked family, every reptilian, every hidden agenda, every conspiracy, everything that's meant to destroy the human race can do nothing to you if you are walking in the steps of Christ. But what happens is the enemy has to convince you to walk after him and get out of your protection. See, the problem is that people are succumbing because they aren't protected. They think they're following something righteous, but they're really following Satan. And so now the chemtrails work against you. Now the GMOs work. Now the pollutants work. Now the drugs work, the alcohol works. Now the programming works. The propaganda works. All this stuff works when you're not under God's protection. And you get under God's protection by walking like Christ. And so again, the lesson will be lost in both of these two tragic cases. with Dexter Reed and Sade Robinson, the lesson will be lost. The enemy is clever. You can't do things like the world and expect a different result. The end result is going to be death. The Bible says there is a way unto man which seemeth right, but in the end are the ways of death. That means all these folks out here running their mouth on TV, on social media, all these folks having something to say, at the end of what they're saying is death. It's death. At the end of it is death. Let's go to my super stickers. Will, thank you so much. Hey, Blanche, my bad. They did a racism and it's all my fault. Here's some reparations to right the wrongs of Team Whitey. God bless. Thank you, Will. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Vintage Goods Willie, you know what the acronym for NAACP in the 1950s, ninjas. That's funny. Thank you, Vintage Goods Willie. Mr. Fernandez, Superman's Cape. If no one is working on the weekend, who's doing the daycare shift? Make it make sense, right? It's my boy Lamar. Thank you so much, Mr. Fernandez. Listen, I love you all. Thank you so much to Angel Wings for moderating. Thank you for Goddess Nabi for moderating. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it. Hope I didn't miss anybody. Thank y'all for tuning in my chat. All right, 182 likes. That's good. Thank y'all so much. Listen, I love you all. I was kind of down because of my tooth. I guess it's feeling better, but I'll probably end up getting a crown. I don't know. Maybe get a different mouth guard. I don't know. But thank y'all. Keep me in your prayers. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. I love y'all, and I will see you all hopefully on Wednesday. Thank y'all so much.